Ping have finally done it. After all that time, all those years, they've finally made a sexy iron. Let's do it, and let's do it now. It doesn't feel like a ping iron. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your very first time watching my content, first of all, welcome to the channel, and second of all, make sure you don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. On this channel, I bring you guys daily golf-related content to help you raise your game, lower your handicap, and hopefully just get you enjoying golf that tiny bit more. Today, we have a very special video. We have the Ping Blueprint Forged Irons. Every time I look at them. Oh. I am going to talk to you about the tech in these clubs. I'm going to talk to you about what these clubs are about. This is going to be a review on these clubs. We have the 4-iron, the 7-iron and the pitching wedge. They are in a dynamic gold S200 shaft. And as all these clubs come with standard, we have the Golf Pride multi-compound aligned grips. I got white with red because it looks pretty cool. Now, just before I do go into all the technology in these, and by all the technology, trust me, there's not a great deal, I just want to talk to you about how they look. You can obviously tell by my first reaction that these things look pretty special. You see, for me, when Ping released the Ping Answer irons, for me that was their first step towards making beautiful irons, toward making good-looking irons, strong-looking irons, desirable irons. Don't get me wrong, Ping have always made good irons. They've always made good-to-use irons, easy-to-hit irons, very well-playable irons. But now they've just completely changed the game. We went from the Answer to the iBlade. That was another step forward. The iBlade looked great, looked fantastic to look down at the ball. Then we moved on, we had the i500, which wasn't a replacement for the iBlade, but looked stunning, just a little bit big. And now we have these. Oh. As you can probably tell, I'm starting with the pitching wedge purely because, have you seen the top line on that 4-iron? Oh, that thing looks so difficult to hit. I think this is the very first impression I got with these irons. Pitching wedge looks superb, would definitely have it in the bag. 7-iron looks beautiful, looks sleek, looks majestic. Could probably just have it in the bag. 4-iron looks incredible. Really not sure if I could have it in the bag, but we're going to give it a go. Now, you may have seen these clubs on a few forums, you may have seen them on GolfWorks, you may have seen them in a few tour players' bags. I think very notably Louis Oosthuizen first had them in the bag. I think Tyrrell Hatton tried them. Andy Sullivan's been using them for a while. All very good ball strikers. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they get on with the likes of me using them. I think that's enough with the pitching wedge. Let's man up a tiny bit and go 7-iron, shall we? See what this one's all about. Ooh, that felt amazing. Now, I know I've been joking a lot. I've been sort of saying these things look spectacular, look beautiful, look amazing, they look sexy. I might even put that in the title because I think it's probably only fair. But what Ping haven't done is they haven't gone away from their typical look. They haven't gone away from the roots. They haven't gone away from... It still looks very much like a Ping iron. We've kept the consistent hydropearl looks on there so that not only do they look the same as clubs throughout the range, the i500, the i210, but also you have that bit of technology in there where you don't get that flyer from wet lies. We also have the white line in the bottom groove, which Ping have become very well known for in their irons. Although if you remember the video I did on the Ping Tour Van, that line isn't just for aesthetics, it's so they can put it in the machine and measure the loft and lie angles very quickly and very efficiently. Now, I'm absolutely ripping this iron. I feel like I'm swinging pretty well today. The garden's green, the birds are singing, the butterflies are out, everything is spectacular. How's it going to be with that 4-iron, that tiny little small 4-iron? One thing I would definitely say is do not buy these clubs for an ego boost. Do not buy them to make yourself feel good about yourself. I'm a player, I'm a 4 handicap, I'm a scratch handicap. I should be using these tiny irons. These things have been designed to look small, have been designed to be sleek, short blade length, real thin top line. It's exactly what some of the tour players have been asking for, and these things have been seeded by the tour players, so you are pretty much getting exactly what they will be using. Not all of them though. Now, I was going to stop hitting shots a few shots ago, but this thing does feel incredible. It feels so soft, it feels really, really nice to hit. Something which I can't really say in Ping's past irons, in Ping's previous irons. The history of irons, like I said earlier, has been fantastic, has been forgiving, easy to hit, pretty good looking. For me, they've not felt the best. I mean, most of them are being cast instead of forged, so that's going to answer that question. But these things feel as soft, as good, as dare I say, even the Mizunos that I'm using at the moment. So I guess the biggest compliment I can pay these clubs is it doesn't feel like a Ping iron. And that's not me having a pop at Ping's history of irons, because they've been very, very good, but if your ball striking's up to it, yes. Now that's all good and well. Pitching wedge, raging success, around the number that I would expect. 7-iron, probably better than I would expect. What about this thing? I've got a feeling I'm about to be caught out by the 4-iron. Let's find out. You see, you can blag a pitching wedge, and you can just about blag a 7-iron, but nobody is blagging this thing. I'm gonna have to put some good golf swings on this. Wish me luck. Oh, it felt so good. Ah. That felt pretty good. It was maybe a smidge toey. And it's not that much further than the 7-iron was in fairness, but let's carry on. You see, the big thing Ping are saying about these irons is they are for players. They are for players who want to control the ball flight, players who want to control the trajectory. They want to see shots, feel shots, be shots. Yes. Now if you feel like that's you and I've just described you perfectly, that's the one. That's what we want. Then these irons could pretty much be for you. The one thing I would say about these things is make sure you go and try them, make sure you go and get fitted for them, and I actually think they would go fantastically well in maybe a split set. You could go blueprint iron, pitching wedge to, depending who you are, 9-iron, but maybe up to 7-iron, 6-iron. You could go I210 in the long irons, I500 in the long irons. Ping have a fantastic range of irons now for these to slide into. Although I must say, the way I've just hit that 4-iron, we come with a 3-iron. Oh, that's the one. See, now that's the one where you kind of dragged back down to earth. You sort of dragged back down to earth really quickly there. That wasn't a very good one. The blade length on this thing looks so short and the top line looks so thin. Now, just before we take a look at the numbers for these clubs, remember I have the 4-iron, the 7-iron and the pitching wedge. Let me talk to you about a little bit of the technology that goes into these clubs. And when I say a little bit, the Players Club, so it is a little bit. We have the Hydro Pearl 2.0 finish, again, to take away moisture from the face so you don't get that flyer out of the wet rough. They are 100% forged from 8620 carbon, and the faces and grooves are machine milled in there, so you know you've got that consistency. Ping do describe these irons as a pure muscle back design, so they are pretty much as pure a blade as you're going to get, but we do have a tiny bit of a forgiveness element in there. We do have a tiny bit of tungsten weighting in the toe, so that you do get that itsy bitsy kind of spider forgiveness. These things are incredibly truly lofted. The pitching wedge is 46 degrees, 7-iron 34 degrees, and the 4-iron that I'm using is 23.5 degrees. So you put those up against some of Ping's other irons where the 7-iron's around 30 degrees, maybe even 29, the 7-iron's the 8-iron and so on and so forth. Well, I think that's enough talk about these irons. Let's take a look at the numbers. Oh, that was a nice one to finish on as well. Really surprised how this thing's performed. Let's take a look. Now the first thing I'd like to look at, we know these irons are beautiful, we know they're absolutely stunning. In fact, I can't seem to keep them off the screen, they just want to keep... Anyway, is the dispersion. Now I've said that I'm swinging well today, and I do feel like I'm swinging well. I'm hitting some nice high draws, and that is pretty much very, very nice. Let's start off by looking at the numbers, the pitching wedge. Now pitching wedge, I only hit 5 of these because I didn't really think like I need to hit many of them. Usually for me 135, so a couple of bad hits, a couple of good hits, one really good hit. Averaging 133, which is there or thereabouts. Spinning, we'll call it 8,000, so a tiny, tiny bit low, but really not too bad at all for an iron of this caliber. But what about the 7 iron? This is where things start to get interesting. I absolutely loved this thing. Absolutely loved it from start to finish. I hit maybe one bad shot with it, which was that number 8. Still went 100. Still, that's kind of a long way. Average 175, which is actually longer than probably I would be going with my 7 iron, the Mizuno that I'm using. Spinning at 6,000, so a tiny bit low. I think ideally 6.5 would be pretty perfect for this club. We're getting 91 club head speed and 120.8 ball speed there. What about the daddy, the 4 iron? So bearing in mind the 7 iron was 175 average, a couple over 200. That number 4 really was really towy. Averaging 205. These, I'm struggling to find a flaw in these things really. Spinning at 4.3, which is surprisingly good. Really kind of nice high spin numbers. The ball's going to stay in the air for me there and land pretty soft for a 4 iron. Club head speed 95.8, ball speed 131. So, Ping Blueprint irons for 2019. What do we think? For me, those numbers have just backed up pretty much everything I've said about them. They're beautiful, they're sleek, they're sexy, they're gorgeous, they feel fantastic. Did I say they feel fantastic? They feel absolutely amazing, and they've performed for me there. They've performed very well. Now, I do feel like I'm swinging particularly well today. Sometimes I do these reviews and I'm swinging poorly and you all comment below saying you're rubbish, which is brilliant. Today I've swung pretty well, so make sure you hit those comments below and give me a bit of love for swinging well. But, I wouldn't like to be stood over some of these irons not swinging well, stood over them under pressure. For example, the YouTube Golf Day. I wouldn't like to have been using these, especially the 4 iron. I do feel like it's a lot smaller than even the 4 iron I'm using, the JPX 919 Tour. Also hit those comments below, guys. Would you like to see me test these against the Mizuno JPX 919 Tour, against the Callaway Apex Pro, against the Titleist MB, against the TaylorMade P730s? I think the long and short of it is 2019 has been a fantastic year for most brands. I think it's been a great year for drivers. It's been a pretty good year for irons. And these things are going to put the cat amongst the pigeons for the players amongst us, for the real low handicaps. Make sure you go and try them. Make sure you get fitted for them. Make sure you can use them. Like I said in the video, there's nothing wrong with getting these things in a split set. The i210s are fantastic irons, the i500s are fantastic irons, so make sure you go and test these out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed that. I've particularly really enjoyed that. You saw how many 7 irons I hit. I just couldn't stop hitting them. And I think I'm going to leave you by hitting a few more. Guys, thanks for watching. If you're new here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. These aren't the only things I've taken delivery of today. We also got the brand new Ping G410 LS Tech to test, so make sure you tune in for that if you are a Ping fan. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Right then, Mr. 4 iron, let's see what you have. You've just got to what's in the bag, James. You can't.